how do we install Jenkins slave through your Jenkins master web console. And for that we require some of the prerequisites, so which is of course the Jenkins master node. So my previous video shows like how to install Jenkins master on CentOS 7 operating system, so you can just watch that and set your master node. And once you have your master node ready, so you can have your Jenkins slave to be configured. And what is the purpose of slaves is usually is whenever you want to run the jobs on a particular environment, so we can set up the environment on a particular server, and your Jenkins can trigger the jobs or run the jobs on that particular server. So that is a major reason, so you can use Jenkins slaves. And along with that, so you can also reduce the burden, or you can distribute the load of your Jenkins master, so also you can use Jenkins slave. And here my Jenkins slave is also I'm picking up CentOS 7 operating system with SE Linux and firewall disabled, so that you'll not have any issues as a beginner. And also it should have Java installed as a prerequisite, so it also should have Java like your Jenkins master node. So let's go and quickly have a quick demo, or how do you install Jenkins slave. So so the easiest way would be connecting through a simple web console and having a SSH username and password, or SSH and key. So here I have a connection. So in order to install your master node, in order to install a slave software on the slave node, so initially it should establish a connection. So that connection should be an SSH connection. So I'll be using an SSH connection. I'll be enabling the SSH connection details inside the web console, and after that I'll simply launch a agent on this particular node and it will install it. So let's quickly go and do that particular part. And to do that, so here is my Jenkins dashboard, so which I already logged into this dashboard. And after that, so here you have a manage Jenkins option, so you can just go to manage Jenkins, and here I have different options, whereas I can just go and see manage nodes, which allows you to add some nodes to this particular Jenkins master. And here you have a master node which is up and running, and it has some details. And in order to add a new node, you can just go for a new node. And here I have the node name. So I usually prefer to give the host name of the server. So you can just give the host name of the server by running the host name command. And I would like to give that particular name. And it's a permanent agent, I would like to have it. And let's continue. And here is the basic information your Jenkins node require in order to configure it. So here, if you want to provide any description, you can provide. And assume I need a executor. So that means the parallel bits which this particular slave can run is number 5. So you can increase or decrease based on the capacity your requirement is. And along with that, so in which directory you want to install so in which directory you would like to install your Jenkins slave. So I would like to prefer giving my home directory of the user, so which I am using /home/admin. I would like to prefer to give that. And here is a very important one, so which is labels. So what's labels is nothing but labels is the name which you use in the jobs which you map to run that particular job into a particular slave node. So labels are really important. So assume if this particular slave I'm using is to set up a Java environment where I can run all my Java related jobs in this particular server, I can give Java. Or if this particular slave is, assume you are running it for setting up your Dockers, so where you have some Docker setup, Docker environment setup, you can just give a label, a Docker, so that in the job you can map this particular map that particular label in the job so that it runs on that particular servers. Now I would like to label it as Java, so that I can give that particular name. And also you can also create another server with the same label where Jenkins will pick up so any one of the available server out of the available labeled servers. And here I just want to use this particular node as much as possible, so that's the default option I would like to go for. And here are a couple of options which you have available. And so one of the option which you have is you can run some command which is an SSH command directly on the which you can give the command where it can run from the master, or else I would prefer to go for SSH directly from the web console. And here are the some of the information I need to provide. So I need to provide the IP address information of the server. So I would like to give the IP address, and here is the IP address, right? And the credentials to connect to the server. So there are no credentials right now. I would like to add some credentials, and the type of credentials I'm adding here is SSH credentials, but not with username and password, but with SSH username and private key. And the key, whether you can directly copy into this particular web console, or you can keep it inside the server and you give the location of that particular key. Either of the way it is fine, but my username is admin and I want to enter the key directly. So let me copy the key which I have already with me, and I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Or else if you have any of the location, you can just give the location of that particular one. Right now I'm selecting enter directly option, and I don't have any passphrase to the key, and I'm which leaving it as empty. And along with that I have an ID and description. So the ID is it's Jenkins slave key, so something which you can keep it in a meaningful name so that you'll not face any issue later time while mapping. And here my credentials are ready. I can use that particular one. So now whenever you just click on save, it tries to launch an agent on this particular node with the username and key whatever you have given. And a very important option over here, which is basically um, a known host file strategy, which would like to go for non-verifying verification strategy. And in case if you would like to provide any more advanced options that is still available, you can provide. And whereas if you don't give that, it's all empty, and just click on save. So once you have done that, it will try to connect to the remote node and it will try to install agent. But in our case, it is going to be a failure. So agent is offline, and of course the agent configuration is failed. Why? Because we have missed one of the prerequisites, so that is Java installation. It doesn't have any Java, so that it couldn't able to do the slave installation. So what I have to do is I have to install Java. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, I'm done. I can just go ahead and relaunch the agent once again. You can just click on launch agent again. So it will try to install the agent again. And now the installation is successful, and you'll be able to see that this is an Unix agent, and agent is successfully connected and it is online. And you can just go back to the nodes and you can see the the another node is also available, which has a slave, which is also showing in the build executor status, like it is also another slave which is added. So in your jobs, you can go ahead and map your job to run on this particular node, and it will run on that particular node. Okay, so hopefully you have enjoyed my video. So thanks for watching my video.